kind of take us back maybe to last weekend, how you thought the road trip went, and then looking forward to for the next 5 at home.
I think this conference is pretty fun to be a part of for volleyball. The Wisconsin match, I thought we competed at a high level, which was it was big for us. I think Pitt and Penn State, we did not compete how we want to. And that was another opportunity for us, and we were really point for point. Couple rallies or a couple rotations we got stuck in, but for the most part, we did a lot of things really well and things we've been working on. So if we can keep on that, then we'll be in good position come December. Rebounded against Iowa and had a pretty complete performance. One bad set, but the other 3 I thought were pretty clean for us. So again, any road win I think in this conference is important, is big. It feels like an accomplishment. So we're excited to get home, and 4 of the next 5 matches are home, and it's been a great environment at Matthew Knight, and hopefully that's only going to continue. Hall of Fame weekend with Lauren Plum we're excited about, and we're going to have a lot of alumni in town. So looking forward to this match against Maryland and then Rutgers.
How do you think being in the Big Ten is going to improve your guys' just experience later in the season in these big games?
Yeah, I really felt like the last 2 years in particular, we're in Louisville to go to the Final Four, huge crowd, great environment. Last year in Madison, same thing. I thought we handled it fine, but it wasn't like we had done that a lot. We haven't been in those environments a lot where that was just very commonplace for us, and ho-hum, you're going about it, right? It was really exciting. And that time of year is always going to be, but I would like for, the external things to not be as important. And so I feel like we're getting in more matches, and the conference is allowing us to be in more matches where you have really, great home crowds or away crowds for us, that we get to go in those environments and we get to get more used to that. And again, I thought we balanced out against Madison, in Madison against Wisconsin. I think it's something that I'm looking for with this group. This group doesn't have a lot of match experience in situations like that. We have a couple people that have been in matches like that, but that's it. And so, again, I think we're starting to figure it out a little bit more, how to handle our emotions, how to handle our nerves, how to compete at the highest level. And so overall, I think that was important for us, and we got a few more opportunities moving forward.
Do you think those external factors played a factor in the weekend in Wisconsin? How do you feel like you kind of bounced back against Iowa?
Yeah, again, I think we really did a much better job of just going point for point against Wisconsin, and that's where we have to be. They're a great team. They put up just a serious block. Like, you just don't see it very often. 6'9", 6'8", standing next to each other. And again, even last year, Mimi didn't handle it great. This year, I thought she handled it beautifully. So again, just learning, gaining experience. Our left scored at a really high level, which you need. Noemi was scoring really well in the beginning and then tailed off. And so for her, in her progression, we just need her consistent offense throughout. And same thing with our middles going behind. We just need to be able to spread the floor a little bit more. Consistently throughout the match. And I think what I like is everybody's seeing that, right? We're starting to see, okay, here are the things that we really need to get better at that will make the difference in December. And we're working really hard to get better at it. So I like where our heads are at. And again, those matches are important for us to be in.
Are there any checkpoints that you circle before the season of evaluation spots maybe? And where do you feel like that is? How do you feel like you're evaluating the team right now?
Yeah, at the end of non-conference play, I take a peek. And just kind of look back and see what are our goals. And we have stack goals, for each category and kind of where we're at. And then normally halfway through conference play, we'll take a look, which we're coming up on that, so we'll take a look and see where we're at there, and then going in, to the tournament. But at that point, you don't have a lot of practice time left, so hopefully we can figure it out before then. But again, we really are hitting a lot of our metrics at a high level, which is exciting because our schedule has been tough, but there's definitely places where we're going to have to grow in order to make a run.
You talk about the resilience of this team twice this month that you guys have lost against a ranked opponent, but then we're able to bounce back after.
Again, I've been very impressed that this group just keeps coming to practice every day trying to get better. Again, I feel like they're not, though it might be emotional in the moment, they're not carrying those emotions over in a negative way the next day. And I think for the most part, they want to be really good. So they just know that wasn't good enough and we have to go back at it. And I think that's the mindset that you want to have. You're never as good as you think or as bad as you think. It's just, we just need to keep trying to get better. So I think they've done a good job of that. Where I'd like to see us grow is doing that, having that same mentality in a match, where I think early on things would carry over and it would add up to a run. And I think we did a better job against Wisconsin, but we still had those moments and the moments might be 3 or 4 points, but that's the difference, of those sets. So we're getting closer. Hopefully we can continue to recognize that we have a growth opportunity there and we can keep getting better at it.
What have you seen in the two teams coming up this weekend?
Maryland has a really nice setter, and they have a lefty opposite that does a nice job. Again, similar to, I feel like most of the teams in the conference now have a really nice opposite. And so we've kind of been up and down with how we've done. But last weekend, I thought against Anna Schmeck from Wisconsin and Garcia from Iowa, two of the better ones, I thought we did a really nice job. I thought, Mimi's been matched up on the opposites mostly. And again, she's been winning a lot of those battles lately, which is huge for us. She's going to have to do that again this weekend. Rutgers and Maryland both have really nice right sides that they lean on for offense. So we're going to have to slow them down. You're not going to stop them, but make it hard on them. And both are aggressive serving teams. And our passing continually has gotten better over the season, which is really important for us, and has allowed Chris to calm down and just run a little bit better offense, more diverse. So can we handle that in our gym this weekend? If we do, then we'll be successful.
What do you guys still need to do to get a lot of offense outside of Mimi? Because Mimi gets a lot of kills and whatnot, but that doesn't necessarily mean you guys are winning.
Yeah. So Michelle's been a really nice answer for us, and she's been more consistent. She's been more aggressive. She even scored out of the back row more this past weekend than we've been using her more. So that's a big answer for us to spread. Oni and Noemi, again, I feel like have been kind of hit or miss here recently. So just getting our connection better. And like I said, we really need to be able to set the ball behind Chris and score at a much higher percentage. And today was great in practice. It's probably the best we've had so far at it. And they've come in, they've gotten extra reps together. They're watching film together. They're trying to problem solve together, doing everything that they need to do. And to me, I'm seeing more and more consistency throughout practices. It's just a matter of bringing it into the games and staying consistent. When you make one error, can you get back into rhythm and not let that error compound? So I think some of those things we've established, we understand what we're trying to do. Now you just got to go out there and execute it at a higher level.
For a team that's still relatively new to playing together, to be doing all those things off the court together.
It's massive because, again, especially when you're trying to run a little bit of a faster offense, there's so much trust within that relationship, right? You're very exposed. You're very vulnerable as a hitter and a setter. If you run that fast set and no one's there, you look silly. You're embarrassed. As an attacker, if you go and swinging and they don't give you a good set, you're embarrassed, that type of thing. So we really need repetitions together. And I think just the quiet time of maybe just two people in a gym together or just having a conversation with film together is important to develop that relationship, that trust. And so, again, I think we've seen the relationship grow with the outsides and Chris and the back row attack in Chris, and we just need more of that with our middles, right side, and Chris. And again, we're totally capable of it, and we've had moments of it, but we need much more consistent effort there. And if we have it, then we got people that can score all over the place. And what I like against Wisconsin and Penn State and Pittsburgh in particular, those matches, three of the best teams in the country, our defense has held up. We just haven't scored at a high enough rate. And so that's where we can identify that we can really grow, and maybe those matches will be different if we can side out better.
Looking at a couple of metrics like graphics on social, passing-wise, seeing Michelle and McKenzie kind of rank among top 10 as the weeks have gone on. In terms of that and being able to free that part up a little bit, talk about how that leads into spreading the offense and getting Chris to be able to run our options.
Yeah, the more meaning Chris has options, the less predictable we can be. And people know ball's going to go to Mimi a lot, right? Mimi's very good. But if they can't just leave and just go sit there and commit their defense to her, I think that's important. And again, Michelle and Mackenzie, they haven't been here very long, right? They're graduate transfers. And so, just kind of trying to teach them, trying to help them grow in the serve receive department. And as the season has gone on, they keep getting better and better. And that's what you'd like to see as a coach, that's where we're going. But again, I think the more that our passing is stabilized, the more confident Chris is in setting other people. And, that's where we need to continue to go.